when we do these events, mistakes happen, and these events occur all over our country every day. And by practicing and doing these scenarios, we learn from our mistakes, we see those mistakes, and we improve those, and the ultimate goal is to minimize those mistakes so in a real life occurrence, those mistakes don't happen. Secondly, as you can see behind me, we have partners from all our different agencies. We get to see those people in play, see what their actions are, meet our counterparts. I see the person from the fire department that has a similar job to me. I know what their role will be on the game day now. They know what my role is, so when we get there and something major happens, we understand what each other's doing, and the communication process is much better. Ultimately, the goal is to minimize these events. As you know, to stop these events is nearly impossible, as we see them occur across the country every day. But practicing this will keep us in better shape, keep our preparedness up to par, and keep our communications with our fellow partners at the best we can do. I'd like to introduce Commissioner Furman at this time from the fire department. He'll speak on their behalf.
Thank you, sir. Mark Furman, M-A-R-C. Last name is F-E-R-M-A-N. Deputy Fire Commissioner of Operations. Like Chief DeVries said, thank you to Mayor Lightfoot for ensuring that this drill took place. It seemed like there was never the perfect time to do it, but it needed to be done. We know that these incidents have been occurring from time to time, and we've learned that it takes a special coordination between all our departments to mitigate a situation like this. Fire department is pretty good at what we do, putting out fires, answering ambulance calls, responding to hazardous material incidences. But fortunately, thank God that we don't have many active shooter events. So when we get the opportunity to practice and drill for something like this, we practice and get better. We've learned that logistically it takes a lot of coordination to coordinate moving patients and just mitigating a real life active shooter event. So whenever we can work with our police partners to practice something like this, we learn something, we get hands-on experience, and we get better and prepared for in case something like this actually happens. So thank you.
How important is it to do the exercise in the actual place and not do it at a training facility or abandoned schools?
On the police department's behalf, I could say that doing it at the actual place of occurrence gives us the layout. We have to know the ins and outs of the building, how to secure everything that's going on. That's why we chose to do it on a weekday when City Hall was open. It doesn't make sense to do it on a day when it's closed and it's open just to us. We'd like to know how it would be with a full house, open to the public, and how we are able to seal off the corridors and do what we need to do. If we do it in a training facility, that's all controlled by us. Real life situation, we don't have any control of what's going on. We have to take that control. So that gives us the benefit of doing it at City Hall like this in a live drill to be able to learn how to take that control and know what we're going to have to do.
We're going to gain some information, and we're going to get good information wherever we do it. But this building poses some special challenges. So, it was good to have it here because this would be I guess a high target or a very high profile location. So it was good to get the drill here and evaluate how we would respond here.
Apart from the coordination, what's the most important thing you take away from this?
Communication from all the different divisions. It doesn't just take us, it takes the fire department, as I said before, OEMC, it takes Streets and Sand to help seal all the streets. It's cooperation with everybody, and if a main event to happen like this, it's good to see that we are all on the same page and we practice together and we learn together.
Yeah, I tell you, it's something as simple as moving a large amount of patients, a number of patients, and where do we hand patients off? Where do we set up triage? What's our best way in for ambulances to respond? Which hospitals are we going to send them to? Because depending on where you are in the city, looking at the number of red patients, yellow patients, the serious condition, how do we disperse patients to different areas, where our trauma centers are, and just coordinating that with our hospitals and our triage, and just the logistics of just moving patients from different areas to which hospitals is huge for us.
Do you ever come away from these events thinking we need to make changes at the building, to the security procedures, to the evacuation procedures that the public's going to have to deal with, that will make it easier for you when, God forbid, this should really happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said before, we don't, like I mentioned, firefighters are good at fighting fires. We go to them all the time. We'll respond to ambulance calls all the time. Accidents, trauma, pin-ins, things like that. Active shooter, there's not much to go on other than what we've seen across the country. We've had maybe just a couple of incidents here, but anytime we can come together and kind of evaluate how it works, how the communications flows from police to fire, from the OEMC, what information are we getting from these guys? It just helps us come together and tweak the next, maybe prepare for the next incident, you know, that could occur here.
On the police side of it, basically the same thing. We welcome mistakes. We learn from those mistakes, and obviously if we feel there's some security flaws or something we could do better with the building, we would address that. But all that's taken later in a date, and we come back and we go over everything and correct it if we need to. But once again, I mean, mistakes are welcome. That way we don't make them when the